Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. We're getting closer to Christmas. Have you noticed the date? Last I checked. The last check was the 20th of December, so we're 5 days away. And it's awfully cold again this morning. If it is a work day or school day for you, I do know that Knox County has a half day today. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. But I do notice it's in the mid-20s. That's where we stand at the moment. 26 is the current temperature at McGee-Tyson Airport at 6 a.m. That's cold. And it feels like it's 22, given the fact that we have about a 3-mile-an-hour wind. It's 16 in Jonesville. That's unreal. It's 20 in Bell County and Middlesboro. And if you're waking up in Newport, chances are you're pretty close to 20 degrees this morning. 25 in Crossville, Wartburg, 23 in Athens. Oh, by the way, I might say that there's something interesting to see. I want to say visibility. Are we seeing any issues here? Maybe some gray areas where fog might be trying to form, but it doesn't show anything all that bad given the fact that we have a 10 besides Knoxville, Morristown, so we've got visibility at its max there. So if you are going to be driving through maybe Claiborne County, Hancock County, take note that that would be freezing fog if it does develop. By the way, season's greetings. We're just 1 day away. Tomorrow night, we're going to say hello to a whole new season. As you know from maybe some middle school classes, some science classes, the Earth is tilted. We didn't do it. We're not to blame, but 23.5 degrees, it's tilted on its axis, and the tilt is what gives us our seasons. And we, of course, make note that they can change, like for, say, December, the winter solstice could occur. Sometimes it's on the 21st, sometimes it's on the 22nd. That's crazy, I know, but we'll be talking about winter beginning astronomically officially tomorrow night. The easiest forecast I can make all week is at 10:27. That's when the official season starts. The Earth axis is tilted away from the sun, hence we have really long days, really long nights, short days. Maybe I'm thinking of summer. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, the shortest day, longest night in the northern hemisphere is tomorrow. So you could argue that today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow are the shortest days as far as the length of day. I know some will say, well, it's still 24 hours. I understand that, but we're talking about the length of the day. But if you're on the call, want to say good morning to you and season's greetings. How cold are you? If you're on Facebook, let me know. I want to say hello to you. I got maybe 3 people on here, 2 or 3 people. Fred says, good morning, David. Heading to Maine tomorrow. You mean the place where they had all those power outages? You are a brave man. I do know you have family up there. Fred, good to talk to you and glad to know that you're traveling. Be safe. Take the Captain Accurate Weather app with you. Might very well help you up there. No white Christmas there this year either. And Wanda Post says, good morning, David. Are we going to get a lot of rain soon? We're going to talk about that. Some rain showers are in the forecast for Christmas. I know I sound like the Grinch. Christmas, it's not supposed to rain. I know what it's supposed to do, but I'm just the messenger. It does what it wants to do. That's the way I see it anyway. But if you're on YouTube, I'm also over here. Want to say good morning to you. Maybe let me pop up over here. I'm on the wrong screen. Ta-da, there it goes. If you're on YouTube, leave me a comment. We'd love to say hi to you, and we'll come back on YouTube in a moment. Looks like I got an ad there running on. But as far as our weather is concerned, it's obviously going to be cold this morning, and we're going to finish the day right around 49 degrees. So we'll come just shy of 50 this afternoon with hazy sun. I call it that because we'll have an abundance of high, thin clouds. The cirrus clouds may make the sun look a little filtered from time to time today. By the way, the Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa, the best express car wash and vacuum in East Tennessee. It's like getting 2 car washes for the price of 1. Check them out at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. They're now serving Alcoa, Newport, Athens, Morristown, Jefferson City, and soon to open in Clinton, Greenville, and Johnson City. Check them out, Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Very happy to have them as a sponsor as well on the Ultimate Doppler Radar. Not much in Tennessee to see on the radar. Maybe a few flakes there in Michigan in blue, and it looks like Maine looks like they're drying out, but they have some still some river flooding. Some of those green polygons all the way from Boston to Maine suggest they've had a lot of water there since this past weekend. The rest of the country looks pretty quiet for travel purposes here on the 20th of December. By the way, as we go back to the temperatures, that was my lead. It is 21 in Jacksboro. Boo. It's 27 in Oak Ridge, and it's 24 in Rockwood. I want to say good morning to you. I've got interesting notes. I do take notes. That's what I like to do. By the way, yesterday's high was 41. And if you watched me yesterday, I said at least 2 or 3 times, if we hit 41, it wouldn't surprise me. I was going for 40. And then Oak Ridge hit 39. So I'd like to see if I could split the uprights on occasion. I think that's what I did yesterday. And it was cold because we started yesterday at 25. That so far has been our low temperature today. 25 yesterday morning. So far the lowest point has been 25 this morning. And that occurred around 3 a.m. But Maryville might be estimated around 20, but there are many of you, like in Sevierville, closer to 21. So the very cold air still lingering around. And we talk about the wind chill. Well, there's not much wind to talk about because it'll have a lot of zeros. There's not going to be any wind chill in some of these spots, but there's an 8-mile-an-hour wind there in Jamestown, 3 in Knoxville, 3 in Maryville and Wartburg. So we've got some numbers in the teens and lower 20s. Boy, my goodness, 26 feels like 22 right now in Knoxville. Very cold indeed. I see some more notes populating in. Darcy says, frosty morning here at 21. She says, brr. Thank you, Darcy, for that update. And Fred says, we'll use your app on the trip. Awesome. And I love it because now all you have to do is hit play one time, and you watch the happy cloud go from past, present, future in 2-hour increments. I love it. Past 2 hours, current, and then future radar 2 hours. It's really handy. Very easy. Lana Johnson says, good morning, David, 21 in Kodak. Are you sure that's cold, Lana? That means you might want an extra cup of coffee. She's got 2 here. I love it. And she said it feels like it. And have a great day. Thank you, Lana Johnson, for being there. And Esther Atkins saying good morning. She's got 24 in Washburn. So we've got some updates, almost like live updates populating. I'd love to have you participate if you're watching live. And I do see Steve Stone. I'm on YouTube as well. He's smiling. He's got the good morning here. And if you're on YouTube, perhaps you'd like to use that platform, trying to expand the reach. And that's what we're doing here on YouTube and Facebook live this morning. It is 6:46. If you're curious for context, we're about 1 degree colder in Knoxville as compared to this time yesterday morning. It's academic because both mornings started off in the mid-20s. When it's that cold, does it really make much of a difference? Maybe not. Perhaps not. Looks like 26 is the current temperature in Chattanooga. These are current readings. Nashville's 27, and we've got 27 in Jackson. Lexington's kind of bothering me. I guess they're not reporting at Bluegrass Airport, but we can estimate they're around 24 up there in Fayette County in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. But 22 in Jackson, Tennessee, 37 in Memphis. I mentioned these high clouds. You can clearly see they're kind of streaming in here, but they're going to live about 30,000 feet much of today. So that's just high enough that it's not going to take out the sun entirely, but it will make it look a little hazier than it did yesterday. Yesterday was just blue sky perfect. During most of the hours yesterday, some of them kind of sneaked in here, but they'll be with us most of the day here on a Wednesday. So sunrise, I think this is described, and that's the background I'm looking for. 7:42 is when the sun comes up this morning, and 5:25. And as we kind of led about the winter solstice, we're going to reverse the pattern from short days. We're going to add some seconds to each day as we finish out the month of December after 10:27 tomorrow night. So our winter solstice we're knocking on the door for those of you who are ready for winter to be here in all forms, not just meteorological winter, but astronomical winter starts tomorrow night. 31 by 10. I know for some in Knox County, some might be full day, but Knox County half day, you're still around freezing at 10 a.m. and should be closer to the upper 30s by the time we hit midday today. 49 at 2 and should finish the day around 49 degrees. In fact, I got 48 for Morristown for a high temperature. Take note, about 47 for Wartburg, 50 for Oneida, La Follette, Middlesboro. And if you're in Tellico Plains, I think you have a good chance of getting to 51, 49 Athens. So that's my expectation today with some high, thin clouds. Ooh, I got Michael Hawk. He's on YouTube. I got another comment. He says, good morning, David. It's 21 degrees in Morristown. Thank you, Michael. Are you just so happy? Are you over the moon that it's 21 degrees and it's 5 days from Christmas? But the fact of the matter is, when we get to Christmas, it's going to be warming up. And that's what my headlines kind of suggest. You can see over my shoulder here. Let's take it full screen. Hazy high clouds today. A bit milder tomorrow. We're in the mid-50s. But then a warming trend arrives Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, Sunday's Christmas Eve, last I checked. And Sunday we could be in the lower 60s. Oh, you didn't just say lower 60s, but you are a Grinch. No, I'm not a Grinch. I'm just the messenger. I can tell you that we have a better chance for a white New Year's than we have a white Christmas, because it's probably going to be a cloudy Christmas with occasional raindrops. Just want to put the expectation out there so that it doesn't surprise you. I didn't say whether that doesn't disappoint you, because it can disappoint you. But it's not going to surprise you if you watch this on a regular basis, and I very much appreciate your support. But be prepared for a warming trend that will really get underway Friday and Saturday. So Merry Christmas to you early. I know Rudolph is prepared for all types of weather. So kiddos, if you're listening, Rudolph's going to get all the packages with Santa on time as he's doing the floss. just love the floss. But anyway, they'll be flying around in a few raindrops and clouds, but they're used to all kinds of weather. So rain is in the forecast on Christmas Day, about a 40% chance and a 60% chance on Tuesday. Now the Futurecast really gives an idea. At 5,000 feet, you have to have the cold air up here, 5,000 feet, for us to have snow down here. So it has to be cold up there for it to be snowing down here. It's just part of the nature of things. So if you look at these cold temperatures up across Canada, will they ever come down here? Because I can tell you when it's green and yellow, we're on the mild side of the ledger, and that takes us through the winter solstice. There's the 22nd, still pretty warm relative to the season, maybe average. But boy, does it really show the red arrows coming in on Christmas Eve. So Santa's going to be flying around Memphis and Knoxville on the warm side of the table. That's where it is. But if you look at Rapid City and you look at Denver, watch what happens over the coming days. Now that's 7:30. You might be opening presents at that precise time on Christmas morning. And it's mild, and it's probably cloudy, and it's probably raining. Boo! But then all of a sudden, magically delicious, here comes the cold Arctic air. I mean, you say, well, that's in Chicago. I see the purple. I don't need the legend. I know it's bitter. You're talking single-digit wind chills. You're talking teens and single-digit air around Minneapolis, some of the cold air for the Great Lakes. Where does it go? Question. That's the 28th. Does it come here? Oh, it does come here. Oh, well, isn't that a little new wrinkle? Ooh, I see it's in Knoxville. But is it in Morristown? It is. But is it in Maryville? Yes, it is. What about Crossville? Yes. Jellicoe? Yes. How about Oliver Springs? Yes. And Oak Ridge? Absolutely. So you're going to feel this bitter cold round out the month. So when everybody around your dinner table, maybe at Christmas evening, says, oh, we don't have a winter, you tell them hogwash. You tell them bah humbug. Wait till New Year's Eve. It's going to look like this. It's going to get pretty cold. And that means opportunities galore for snow, because you need the cold air, don't you, to get the snow opportunities. And it looks like this on the 29th. What about the 31st? What about the first? Stays pretty cold. And then we lock and reload for the 2nd of January, and you're like, no way. Make it stop. I can't. I'm just the messenger. If I can't control the rain on Christmas, I can't control how much work your heating and air, well, we'll say heating. The heating, if the furnace is going to work overtime, not just at my house, but your house and your friend's house in East Tennessee, because it's going to be far-reaching. So if you're traveling to Illinois for Christmas, you're traveling to Ohio, Michigan, maybe Kentucky or West Virginia, it's going to feel nasty cold going right through the early part of next year. And boy, does it stick around. There's the 3rd of January, and I could do this all day, but I got to keep moving because it's now 6:52. I do know that we have opportunities for more snow. And if you just want to know the short term, I like to show it as a Christmas present to you. We know it's going to be raining on Christmas, so we could kind of just hop and skip right through the 25th. But eventually, as these models are trying to find their own way, they're suggesting that we'll have some snow in Tennessee. And we'll have to wait and see and fine-tune that when we get closer, because these amounts mean nothing to me other than that the pattern is changing. It'll be changing as we move into 2024. Does that make sense? So I just want to make you prepared for what's happening. 26 right now feels like 22. We have a very light wind, almost marginal wind at 3 miles per hour at the north-northeast. And I suspect winds today will be about 0 to 5. And they'll eventually come out of the southwest if they move at all for much of the afternoon. Here's the Valley Planner. I'm going to check back with your questions and comments. But hazy sun, high clouds will make a run toward 50. I'm calling for 49, but you know what I'm about to say. If we hit 50, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. I want to say good morning to you and Merry Christmas. Is it too early to say that? I've been hearing Christmas music for weeks, so I don't think it's too early for me to say Merry Christmas to you, even though it's not even the winter solstice yet. It is the 20th of December. I see Steve, I see Michael on YouTube, popping back over to Facebook. I've got Jeff, says Captain, when will we possibly see our first snow? I think I might have covered that. That was a minute-old comment, but Jeff, we will see some, I think, before the end of the year. So keep an eye on that. Michelle Green Hubbard says good morning. She's one of my premium members on Facebook. Glad to have Michelle here. Good morning to you, and Merry Christmas. As we look at Darcy saying, yes, how did we ever manage without it? I don't know. Maybe the cold air she's referring to. But Wanda says, everyone have a blessed Merry Christmas. No snow, but need the rain. If we got David's premium service, you'd know what's coming. So be sure to get it. I would agree. If you haven't tried it, you can cancel at any time. Just go to CaptainAccurate.com to sign up. You'll find it very helpful. especially if you are a planner. Some of you are spontaneous people, but some of you really like to know what's going on down the road. Temperatures are going to be warming up, but with that opportunity, we're going to see more raindrops coming in on Christmas Day, 40%, and a 60% chance the way I see it on Tuesday. We're going to revisit that this afternoon. It is now 6:55, time to cover our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. So many of you probably have these color codes memorized, but if not, the lightest shade of green means there's no severe thunderstorms, but thunder general. A general thunderstorm will be possible in the lightest shade of green. That would include Los Angeles. That would include parts of Arizona and New Mexico based on their analysis today. Most of the country is quiet, so if you are traveling today, if you have today off, or perhaps you're leaving town as soon as the half day is over at Knox County Schools, I understand you'll be on the road. You'll have no weather real worries anywhere in our region. But by the time we hit Thursday into Friday, there might be a few more thunderstorms near Houston on Friday and also back towards, say, Arizona and, say, New Mexico. That's where most of the thunderstorms may appear during the course of the latter part of the week. Here's the future cast. 6:45, high pressure moving across the state. Some of those high thin clouds will stream in here. It's not the strongest high, so it's not going to keep all the clouds out of the picture. But once we move into Thursday and into Friday, some of those clouds might actually lower, so we'll call it maybe hazy sunny clouds to round out the work week on Friday. And then all of a sudden, maybe some drizzle makes it in here on Saturday, but most of it wants to sail to the north. So if you've got Saturday plans, maybe you're doing some last-minute shopping, gift card buying, or whatever you're doing on Saturday before the holiday, take note that there will be a few raindrops up towards, say, Lexington, Huntington, and Charleston, West Virginia. My futurecast takes us up to, by 9:30, about 27. By lunchtime, 42, and there's just a hint of some high clouds there, but 42 is where I expect to be at lunchtime today, and then we'll finish the day near 50, about 49 Knoxville, maybe closer to 50 there for Oneida and La Follette. Once we move into tonight, it will be chilly. I'd say it's still cold. We're down to about 27 by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. 27 is still cold because the normal low is 32. So we're still going to be about 5 degrees below average for the night tonight into tomorrow morning. And again, there's still going to be some high clouds. You can see a little more maybe to the west. Plateau sees more cloud cover there at 3:30 tomorrow, but we'll finish about 55, I think, for tomorrow. Outside of that, it's a pretty ho-hum, not a ho-ho-ho, but a ho-hum forecast. Now today, high temperature 49, expecting high clouds, hazy sun, and if there is a prevailing wind today, and I mean during the daylight hours, it'll be out of the southwest, but generally I think it's light and variable, 0 to 5 miles per hour. Today's high, about 50 for La Follette, 49 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County, 49 for Maryville, Alcoa, and 51 for Tellico Plains and Madisonville. Now, for traveling purposes, you're not going to find much difference. If you think it's hotter in Atlanta, think again, because they're going to be around 50. Nashville, 3 degrees warmer, 4 degrees warmer. They're at 53 today. And about 49 for Charlotte, 49 for the Tri-Cities, and about 58 for Memphis. They will be a little warmer than we are. Now, low temperature tonight, 27. More high clouds, still cold, as I see a light and variable wind here as we're now reaching 6:58 in the morning. I'm finishing on time, and I've got some time for some of your comments and questions. Temperature tonight, 24 for Bell County. That's Crater City. Temperatures are cratering. They're going in the mid-20s again for you, but 26 for Morristown, 28 for Wartburg, about 28 for Crossville. A low temperature of McMinn County, Athens, about 24 degrees. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast with Christmas Eve and Christmas Day coming into view. 55 tomorrow. Winter solstice, I put there at 10:27. So if you're having a little party, you can do a toast. 57 on Friday, and then 59 on Saturday. That's why I said the warming trend will be felt right through Sunday. But you'll get enough hazy sun, I think, on Sunday to push us into the lower 60s. And some of it will invariably say, stick a fork in it, this winter season's for the birds, but they don't know what you know, which is it's all about to turn nasty cold before the end of the year. And if that comes to pass, then you will have heard it here first. Isn't that nice? That's why you tune in to me. And if you like the day-to-day stuff, that's why you really need to join Captain Accurate Premium. Don't just ask me. Ask any of the ones that have subscriber next to their name, like Michelle Hubbard. There's lots of folks that could tell you what they like about it because they've been with me. In many cases, some of them have been with me over a year because we've been doing this since October of last year for the premium service. But just a reminder, Christmas Day, 57, you're going to want the umbrella. If you're going to grandma's house, the windshield wipers will be moving at times. But if you're thinking maybe it's going to come down as a wintry mix, think again. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. Mid-40s, too warm to support anything but raindrops. So that's why I have rain showers on Monday, Christmas Day, and rain showers on Tuesday. Both days in the mid to upper 50s across the board. Good morning to you. It is now 7 o'clock. I finished on time. I feel like I've made an accomplishment. I only get one try at this, right? Each morning. It's one take city. It's live. I want to say hi to Darcy. She says the next big thing is the best thing. Thank you, Darcy. I always like that feedback. I put about 45 minutes of time into those each day, so I'm glad you like it. Ed says, good morning. Looking forward to the warmth. And Jeff is on here saying, wanting to know when we're going to get our first snow. I think we've kind of covered that in detail. And I see Michael Hawk. He says, my wife, Tracy, is Canadian, and she really misses the snow. Well, maybe some of that will come down for New Year's. So if we can't get the white Christmas, and remember last year, do you remember last year? We got 1.6 inches of snow the day after Christmas. And do you know what some East Tennesseans told me as they sang Bing Crosby's song, all winter, fall song? They were singing, I think, about around Halloween. From Halloween to right to Christmas Eve, they were singing I'm Dreaming of That White Christmas. When we got the snow the day after Christmas, some people told me, they said, oh, it doesn't count. It's late. I'm like, that's why I say, well, I'm not a vending machine. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I said, you finally got what you wished for, but you were unhappy and ungrateful because it came the day after Christmas. Do you know who you are? I'm just kind of calling you out. I think that's kind of funny. Funny, sad, but still funny. Maybe you agree. Anyway, it won't be like that this year. Just raindrop city for Christmas Day, but I am hopeful. I am hopeful, as my premium members know, that the pattern will change, and when it does, it will change abruptly. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. We'll see you here next time. Take care.